games. Like,
Yeah, innit. We should go though. We should go to a Brighton game, all three of us.
Yeah.
I'd like that.
Calm.
I'd like that.
Put it in the books.
Alright, settled. Done. Brighton, we're coming for you one day. Right. Let's get to the topic of podcasts, seeing as we're out here creating one at the moment. Ray, I'm going to bring you in for a special interview in a bit. Don't worry, I'm not leaving you out.
Our man Ray Wills was actually, so the thing is, he was sleeping when we were setting up the podcast, and we thought, you know what, maybe man just wants to crash, you know, and we'll have to bring him in.
I did get here late as well, so it's partly my fault, but I bought supplies from the Mandem.
And I found my second win. They woke me up, they said, "It's cider in the fridge."
That's what we needed.
That's a soda.
So yeah, we're doing a podcast, a vlogcast, whatever these things are called.
Yeah.
I want to know, Stefan, why do you like the format of a podcast? I know you're a big Joe Rogan fan, amongst others. What is it that appeals to you about a podcast, and why do you want to make one?
I guess it's like you get to see what the people are about, you know, behind all the fuss, behind all the, you know, because think about like some of your favorite stars, for example, like rappers or movie stars or whatever. You know, you see them at interviews. They've got like 15-minute snippet of something, and they usually probably like prep a lot for that. You know, but at a podcast, you get to pick their brains on like, I don't know, deep stuff, or just like what they think about like politics or music or their process. And I think that's a bit more of a relaxed environment. Plus you see their like body language. They see they are real about what they're saying. It's no fuss. It's no like, I don't know, for example, like a good podcast with Joe Rogan, this is one of the ones that actually got me into it big time, was Kevin Hart. His first podcast with Joe Rogan. Jesus Christ, man, it's so inspirational. That guy is really on the hustle. And I just saw like, I felt like I understood why Kevin Hart was Kevin Hart a bit better because of that podcast, for example. It was 2.5 hours of just wisdom, bro. You know, big time. So just back to your question, I think it's just, because we discussed this a bit before the podcast started. It was like, podcasts are almost like the death of radio. And I think it's like, so yeah, there's a certain demography that radio is still going to have consistently. Maybe like just people driving, you know, and you just
older people as well.
Yeah, plus it's just like, it's just something special when you just get random stuff, you know, and sometimes that clicks with you. Whilst with a podcast, you get a bit more selective.
True.
You decide, you choose to get into, you know, any podcast. And I think even with podcasts, because you mentioned like video format as well. Again, I think it just plays into that part of like, you see a bit more behind like the actual character. You see how they actually manifest. Even the body language can show a lot of certain people, you know. So yeah, I don't know. It's a bit of a tricky one, but I think they are taking over for a reason. Yeah. And I think it's the best time to actually start one because, man, like I think Ray and I were discussing this idea for years, years ago in in Guildford. We're just having those mad chats over like, you know, long nights, and we were like, bro, should we record some of those? Because there was like a lot of goosebumps moments, you know. And we just felt like, what if that's just our opinion now? What if we're gonna call bullshit on ourselves in a few years from now? Or maybe we're on some like mad wisdom right now, and no one's like recording it. No one's writing this down, because who would write down like what you talk with your boys over a smoke or something, you know? But yeah, I feel like a podcast also allows you to be a bit more like professional in that way, and the way you present your ideas and you articulate your thoughts. So I don't know, man. I see a lot of pluses, not a lot of minuses in my humble opinion. But what do you think about it?
Well, yeah. What I really like have noticed, because I listen to the radio a bit when I drive. I don't know if you listen to radio in recent years, but like it is just whack, like so bad now.
Not mutual, is it?
No, it's not mutual. Like you can go on and pretty much guarantee you're gonna hear the same like 45 songs every day. It doesn't even matter what station you listen to. Like it's the same stuff, and like it's just sad. Like you know, like Eagle Radio, the one that was in Guildford. Have you seen what's happened to that now?
No.
It's like just been. They've like cancelled Eagle, and it's been turned into like a greatest hits radio.
For real?
So
and they were,
I swear.
Fuck you.
So it's just like another radio station playing like 70s and 80s music.
It was the only one that was like doing like independent stuff
in
the
it.
style of
In
BBC
it.
introducing.
Like you performed, you done performances.
Yeah,
you guys performed as well.
Yeah. We've done a session there.
What's the guy? His name's Jack, innit?
Yeah.
What
Jack
happened
Johnson.
there?
Shout out Jack Johnson.
Shout out Jack. Big up Jack, man.
Yeah,
Always
innit?
good vibes.
Sound guy. Yeah.
And it's just
Sound guy.
like, What happened there? What's going
I
on?
don't even know. Like literally, I was driving one day and they were just like playing like old music, and I was like, okay, like you know, maybe it's just like one of those shows where they're taking requests or just doing old music. But then they were like, coming soon, greatest hits radio, and then just I think they've just slowly phased Eagle out,
Mad.
which is so sad because literally like obviously, well you grew up near Guildford, innit? Like around Reading and that.
Reading,
Yeah, like Eagle's literally been about since I was a kid.
Mad.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's been like a staple of being a Surrey boy listening to Eagle Radio, and now like now that that's just collapsed or whatever, like I think it's important to have like these kind of platforms. Do you know what I mean? Like a podcast where, like you say, you can be selective about what you listen to. You get different points of view. It's not just like churning. I don't know, like that same like carbon copy stuff. Like you know, whenever you switch on a local radio station, they're like, oh, like tell us about your most shocking traffic experience for everyone that's sat in traffic at home, or like
It's all scripted, isn't it?
yeah, and it's just I don't know, like it's obviously nice to have that kind of engagement still with the public and have that platform where people can go to for the news and music and this, that and the other, but you just don't get like you don't get the content and you don't get enough range of music I find from listening to the radio, because you can go and seek out like a specific genre
Station,
or like like a station that plays a certain kind of music, but then you start listening to that music the whole time. Like there's just not that platform that has that kind of mix of everything.
Yeah. On that note, just to give it a bit of justice to radio, there's a couple of good stations in Brighton. Shout out Platform B.
Platform B, I like a lot.
105.5, man.
Innit?
Some of our
Platform
friends
B
are
is
actually
lit.
like hosting shows there. Really good music as well, man.
And man, they play a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
I like 1BTN as well. Don't know if that's the full name of it, but that's what it says on my little radio display in my car.
Yeah.
They play some bangers, mate.
I think there's one as well. There was just banter. I was like, in my mate's car, I was always playing Gay Dio.
Gadio, mate. That just has like a Clubland remix of every song possible ever. That unts. All that stuff, mate. But yeah. It's
It's just like coming off a rave and you just listen to Gay Dio. Man.
Ease you back into normal society, after really.
Makes you think twice about your sexuality. What?
that's you, bro.
I just had to put it out there.